Yo, what is up guys, Slider here, and today I'm going to be doing a guide on the Demon Hunter for patch 7.1. So I'm just going to briefly go over talents and stats, and as far as rotation goes, I will do that in a further video when I further get it down. So let's jump into it. I'm just going to go over the talents and tell you what I chose. I'm not going to go into detail about every other talent. I'm just going to show you what I think is best for my playstyle personally. I personally run with Fell Mastery, increases Fell Rush damage by 30% and grants 25 Fury when Fell Rush damages at least one target. The reason I run this is because in your rotation you are using Fell Rush really often, especially when you run this talent Momentum. So that's the reason why I run with Fell Rush. Level 100 talents, I run with Demon Blade because it's a passive. I prefer not to spam Demon's Bite, and I'd rather just have it as a passive. A lot of people run with Prepared as well. But I just personally like Demon Blades as it's an auto attack and it does 75% chance to deal additional shadow damage and generate fury. So moving on to 102, I run with Bloodlet. The reason for this is because it leaves a dot when you throw your glaive and you have 2 charges of your glaive. So 150% of your weapon damage inflicted over 10 seconds is a nice dot, and it does majority. It's usually in the top 3 things for your damage done. So that's why I run with this. 104 talents, I run with Soul Rending. A lot of people run with Nether Walk, but I just prefer the 100% leech when in Metamorphosis, especially for boss fights. It's really important, just easy. You could stand and stuff and just 100% leech, so you're doing tons of damage, so you're just healing yourself over time. Momentum is, I think, one of the main ones you should run with. Fell Rush and Vengeful Retreat increases your damage done by 20% for 4 seconds. So every time you Fell Rush or Vengeful Retreat, you get 20% increased damage for 4 seconds. That's huge for increasing your DPS, considering Throw Glaive is on a 9-second cooldown for myself. So I use them together, so I'll Fell Rush, and then I'll throw a Glaive, and then leave the dot, and then do it again. So I feel Momentum's probably one of your strongest ones. Moving on to 108. Some people run with this one. I'm not sure why, but Master of the Glaive is probably your best one. You get 2 charges of Glaive, so I prefer that one over everyone else. It's just the strongest option in my opinion, having 2 Glaives. Yeah, so 110 talents. This one is a kind of a bounce between these two in my opinion. Fell Barrage is a lot better for AoE, so when you're running dungeons and stuff, those big AoE pulls, Fell Barrage does come out on top. But overall, my focus is on the boss fights, so I run Chaos Blades, increases all damage done by 16%. It's based on your mastery, so I pop Chaos Blades with Metamorphosis on cooldown, and you just do insane amount of damage on a boss fight. So I prefer to run those two, and yeah. But Fell Barrage is definitely a really good option, so people bounce between these two. Okay, so I'm basically just going to go over the stats for the Demon Hunter and what people have been running recently and what I've noticed in my own stat inflation. So, most people are running Agility, Crit, Versatility, Haste, Mastery. So, in my opinion right now, obviously Agility first, Crit, and then I like to run Haste over Versatility. The reason for this is when you're running Demon Blades, your auto attacks have another chance to do more shadow damage and generate more fury. So the more you're hitting, the more that's going off, the more fury you have, the more chaos strikes you're going to be getting off. So in my opinion right now, Haste is really strong for Demon Hunters and underestimated. So the way I would run my stats is Crit, Haste, Versatility, Mastery, and that's what I feel is the best for my playstyle personally. It may not be the best overall, but that's just where I see my Demon Hunter going, and I'm just gonna play around with that and see what works best, obviously. And yeah, so as far as rotation goes, I am gonna do a further video on this, but this is just the base talents and stats overview. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'd love to hear you guys' opinion on the Demon Hunter. And yeah, until next time, thanks guys.